Hello friend, today we will learn how we have to use DataGidView to display records of database. First we start Microsoft Visual Studio 2010. So we have to click over the Visual Studio 2010. Then it will get open. After opening the window, we will get here the number of existing project, and if you want to create, we click on new project. So we have clicked here on new project. Now select the Windows Form application for Visual Basic Windows application. So here we have selected Windows Form application. We have given the name Data Grid Control. Now we have clicked on open. OK. After clicking on OK, the form will get open. Now we have to make the interface where we have to display the data in DataGidView. For opening the DataGidView, first we have to select the toolbox. Then after we select Data tab from the toolbox, and now we select DataGidView. Now we will place it over the form. Now we have placed it. After placing it, what we have to do? First we will make changes in its size as needed by the user. Now we will shift it at proper place. Now we have to use some common control, like we have used two buttons, button 1 and button 2. So button 1 we have placed, and then another button we have placed, that is button 2. After placing those control, we can make changes in their names, because names are important for making the coding, because whether we are using those names, that will helpful to us to recognize those controls. So button display, BTN display, we have used the name for the first button. Now it will be named as BTN display. Now we have to also change its text property. So we have written that in text property display, we have written here display, and that will display name as display. Now we have clicked on button 2. We have also changed its text property, that will be clear. Now we have also made the change in the name of the button 2. Now we will write it BTN. BTN is basically a prefix that is being used for button control. BTN clear. Now we can make changes of the DataGidView name, because it is long one. So we have done what thing? We have made the changes in the DataGidView. That name is Data Grid. We have written Data Grid only. Now after making the changes in the name, what we have to do? We have to click on the form. We double click over the form, then code window will get open. Now move the cursor over the public class form 1. Now we will use the namespace imports system. This is basically a namespace that we have to use for database connectivity, because whenever we want to use some connection class, then we have to use its namespace. So namespace we have used import system.data.oledb. Now we are making the object of connection class dim cn as new. Basically new keyword is used to make the object of a class OLEDB connection. After making the connection, we have to double click on that private subform 1 under load method. Then we will write cn dot connection string. Here connection string is a property of connection cn object that we have created through the OLEDB connection. Now we have to give the connection string. How we will bring it? We will click over the server explorer. If database is existing, we can directly take it. Whether it is not existing or we have to connect it, then what we can do? If we have to connect it again, then we click on data connections option. Here we can click on add connection. After clicking on add connection window will appear. Now we have to select the database. Now we have clicked over there, browse button, then now you see the window will get open. We have to select the table from where we have to use the thing. Now we select it from any place wherever we have saved it. For example, if I am taking some record from D drive, I have selected D drive and I have taken record and clicked over the open button. Then it has came as D drive record.mdb. Now we have to click over test connection. Whether we click over there, test connection succeeded, message box will appear. Click on OK, then OK. After clicking on it, the connection has been established. Now we can see in that table is there. In that table, we can also view the record, whether it is having record or not. It is having around 3 records here that we can use for displaying. Now what we will do, we right click and select the properties. Here connection string property is there. So we double click over here, then copy. Now in inverted codes we will paste it by Ctrl V. Now we are getting what thing? The connection string has been used. After doing this, we again click on Form 1 Design View and we double click over the display button. So now you can click over there, again code window get open. Here the private sub btn display underscore click is coming. Now we will use what thing? We have to first open that connection, because cn dot open is needed for opening the connection, because connection we have established through the connection string. Now we will, after opening this, we will make the string dim SQL as string. Basically that SQL string that we are making, it is a kind of string that keep the command to access the record from the database. Now we are using select command. Why? Because we have to display the data. Select star from, the table name is student, as we have used this. After this we will use dim DA as new OLEDB data adapter. Now we have used adapter instead of command, because whether we have to use DataGidView, then we have to use which one? OLEDB data adapter. Now we have used SQL, CN. CN is for connection. And one thing you have to remember, in that adapter it is not needed to open and close connection. If we are using, then we can use. If we don't want, then there is no need to use the open and close method in it. But we are using, because whether you are using the things, you have to use common concept. If you are using, then you will use. If you are not using, then don't use. There is no problem, because it works on the concept of data set. Now dim, you will use DS as new data set. Data set that you have used, that is a kind of object you have made, and that will keep the record. This DA is having a fill method that basically keeps the record in tabular form. DA dot fill DS we have done. After this, we have to use DataGidView. So DataGrid we have used with the name DataGrid dot data source equal ds dot table, and we have given the index 0. Now we will close cn dot close After writing the code, we can execute it by F5 and click on display button. Now our record will get displayed in DataGrid view. Now we will write the code for clear button. So we will double click over the clear button. Now we have to write the name of grid, that is data grid. Then after writing data grid dot data source, we will write blank inverted quotes we have written. This will be the code. Now we can execute the code by F5 and see whether we are clicking over the display, then record of the data grid view will display. When we are clicking on clear, then data record has been clear. Thank you.